Hey, everybody. Hello, ladies. Hello, hello, hello. So, today I was coming off of the most amazing weekend, and it feels so good because I'm starting to really chip away at my goals. And the more I chip away at my goals, the better I begin to feel, the better my business flourishes, the better my relationships become. So I'm introducing all these new students in this weekend, and they're all so super excited and like ready to go. Okay, we've got, I think, 5 or 6 elites that stepped in, Diamond Elites, for a year of mentorship in the last, just over the weekend. I'm excited for these ladies, and I want to get them prepared. I want to have you prepared for when you step in. So I decided that tonight I was going to do a little goal setting workshop with you ladies. I decided that I was going to do a little something that would get you going, no matter what phase of your journey you're in, no matter what struggle you're experiencing, whether it's, this corona thing or kids or work or just beginning a business, right? Maybe you're out of work. So so tonight I want you to grab your pen and your paper, okay? I want you to make sure that you're writing this down. Now this is just a guide, right? When you step in, obviously we're going to dive much deeper. We're going to peel back the layers on this and personalize it to you. But for now, I want to give you a head start, right? So, I got my notebook, right, with my notes. So my students, you already know what time it is. My students already know time to grab a pen and paper. So I'll give you just a second before we dive in. And while you grab your pens and papers, I want to tell you a little bit about, really, really quick, about my experience and how closely it's related to what's going on in the world right now, right? My corona crisis has happened multiple times in life. Okay? This was not the first time that the world around me began to crumble. Okay? And I don't know about you ladies, but I've definitely lost a job in the past. I've definitely struggled, lived check to check, even when having a job. I definitely failed at multiple relationships, and even the ones with my family, like my mother's relationship, the one with my mother and I was not where it should be. And I realized at some point that, like, after being fired from job number probably 15, no exaggeration, okay, from pizza to restaurants, I was at my last job selling cars and I loved it. And after 6 weeks, they fired me just because I was trying to make a check, right? I was doing some things on the side. Some of you remember I was doing like little massages and just trying to hustle to make a buck. I was trying to feed my family. And they fired me for it. And it was the most devastating thing. And I realized after that, 26 weeks of unemployment later, that I needed to come up with something. I hit the dirty 30, man. How old are you? Right? How old are you? Think about it. 5 years ago, what if, right? I hit that point at 30 and I was like, shit, I've got to do something now. Okay? So I realized that the one thing, no matter what I wanted, I want this. I want to start a business. I want to go to school. I want to do this. I want to do that. All the things in life that I said I wanted, right? I never spoke them into existence. I never believed them. I never did anything besides want them, right? There's no action that went along with the want. I just wanted stuff, right? I realized that I was lacking severely goals. So by now, I know you have your pens and papers ready to go. We're going to dive into how to set goals. Everybody tells you that you need them, but nobody really tells you how to set them. Nobody really gives you the how on the outline of what your goals should actually be. Like, is there a formula to leveling up your lifestyle? Right? There is. There really is. And I can tell you that there is because not only have I done it for myself, but I've helped thousands of women all over the globe do the same thing. So get your pen and paper. You ready? Let's talk about right now your money. Right now, Corona might be playing with your funds. Things are up and down for you, right? I've experienced that Corona crisis before. Your relationship stress is like ripping families and households apart right now, right? Even the Kims and Kanyes are living on opposite sides of the house. Okay? So so we've experienced that Corona crisis before, right? Definitely those relationships. What about like our kids? Like, I mean, I know they're now home more than ever, but hell, they're home every summer, right? So every summer we're dealing with the kids. Every summer we got the kids, right? It's nothing new. They don't have school. They're home, right? Granted, they could do more, but they're here. They're home. Okay, makes sense. So, so we've been through this Corona crisis before, but this time we're taking it heavier. This time it hurts more. This time it's different, right? This time it's like heavy. So this time you really need to make a decision to do something that's different than what you've always done. So I'm going to give you an outline of goals that you're going to stick to for the next 30 days, okay? The next 30 days I want you to plan for sticking to the outline of these goals. I want you to eat them, breathe them, sleep them, know them, okay? I want you to 100% fully focus on nothing but these goals. Okay. And I promise you that on the other side of this 30 days, right? Because I don't know about you, but we're in Pennsylvania. So we're on lockdown until like June 6th or something, June 4th. So we've got time. You have nothing but time. Okay. You just lost your job. You have nothing but time. Your hours are cut. You have nothing but time. Okay. You have nothing but time. If you need a radical change real quick, just take a second and think about your radical change. I want you to think about where you see your lifestyle. If you would have just kept working even a little bit harder, or if you would have made a little bit more money, like what do you envision your lifestyle to be? Right? That's great to focus on and think about, but if you don't fix the here and now, if you don't focus on these here and now issues, we're not going to be able to live that fantasy life that you just thought of and imagined and dreamed of, right? So the first thing you need to focus on when setting goals, there's five, okay? The first one that you need to sort out and figure out is your financial goal, okay? You need to think about, I mean, for me, it was like I needed to find my safety net. I needed to find, like, I kept getting fired. Right now it's Rona, right? But I kept getting fired, and like I kept losing my job and just not finding the thing and writing my passion, and it was just I hated works. I hated working and jobs, and I just, right? So I needed to find my safety net. I needed to create goals because I needed a safety net. So my first goal was going to be financial, right? So I want you to write down real quick your financial goal. Write down your financial goal. I want it to be something that you once acquired, it helps with something, it heals something, it fixes something, it makes it better, right? For some of us, we're thinking the stimulus check, honey. I get it. Listen, I get it. Some of us are thinking, wait, this unemployment as soon as it comes. I get it. I get it. But I want you to think of a number that is your comfortable cushion, right? For my students, we think of something that hurts, right? Like this one thing that comes around and every time it does, it's just painful and it hurts and I hate this thing. Okay? Write that down. That's number one. That's your financial goal. Okay? This financial goal is simply just $1 sign. It's not $5 million. It's the one thing. It's the number. It's the comfort cushion, right? What's the comfort cushion? What is your number? Write it down. Okay? Underneath your financial goal, number two is super important because number two is the helper for number one. It's the thing that you create and do and step into and take action in that actually helps number one get to where it's at, right? The goal, the end goal. So like for me it was my business, right? Because at the end of unemployment I had 26 weeks left. That's all I had. That was it. 26 weeks and I was done. So I needed to find a way to be able to make money, right? I had this financial goal. I want to have $7,000. That's great. How was I going to get there, right? So my number two goal is so important. It's so important. It's almost as important as number one, but it's number two for a reason because it's an action step. It's something you need to do to get to that I want. Make sense? Okay? The growth goal for me, I knew that if I started this thing and generated an income, whatever my financial goal was, I'd be able to help myself get to it. Whether I met somebody along the way that helped me get there, whether I met some amazing person as I was growing and through my journey and becoming that amazing person, now somebody amazing stumbled along, right, and helped me, right? Because I couldn't just start a business on my own. I did need some financial help. Hello. I needed help with my bills. I needed help. I couldn't do both at the same time, right? But I also wasn't going to attract the kind of person I wanted, a businessman. I wasn't a businesswoman, right? You want a businessman so bad, and you don't even have no business to even talk about, you know? They say mind your business. I didn't have business to mind. So the nerve of me wanting a businessman. So for me, my growth goal was my business. Your growth goal can be whatever it is, right? Growth goal. It supports number one and helps number one get to where it's going. Make sense? Now, again, for my students, I know ladies, you're like, oh man, let's dive deeper. I promise you we will and we do. Just be patient, right? Let's get to week one because week one is goal setting. We dive deep, okay? So this is your prepper. This is your let me get ready, okay? Number three, ladies, is another growth goal. Why? Well, because the first growth goal is something that supports the financial goal. The second growth goal might actually cost you money versus you just making money from it. Does that make sense? So like maybe it's something you always wanted to do that you've never done, learn a second language or, go cross country, right? You wanted to always rent a boat or, buy roller skates, right? So you can get healthy. You always wanted to get a trainer, right? You've always wanted to get a trainer because, like me, your weight loss journey is a struggle, just like the level up one. Look, no journey is easy. That's why it's a journey, not a race. But you've always wanted one. But like, it costs money to get one. So, maybe not right now. Right? And that thing always gets pushed off for like a little bit later. And you're like, oh, not right now. Right? But like, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing for you. It's like an art class or those music lessons or piano. Right? It's something that grows you. That makes you just a little bit better, a little more enlightened. Right? A little more grounded, a little more rooted. Okay? Cheers to that. Right? Cheers to that third growth goal. Maybe you've wanted to become a wine connoisseur. Maybe. But of course, it costs money to sip really good wine, right? Or at least until you build up your thing so that you can get sponsors and, people are sending you bottles to review, right? Cheers to number 3 growth goal. So these first 3 growth goals are the most important. They're the heavyweight ones, right? They're the most important when you write them, okay? Because you really have to put some thought into this. This is not surface level of like, again, we all want $1 million, right? But like, let's be realistic. Are you getting that in 30 days? What can you do in 30 days that's a financial goal that helps, right? That helps the hurt. Number two is, what can you do to get to that financial goal? What kind of service can you offer? What kind of thing can you do? What kind of extra hours can you pick up? What kind of thing, right? My thing isn't hours picking up, right? As far as like working for somebody else. But that's a whole nother video. It's a whole nother live, that's a whole nother recording, that's a whole nother video. So number three, this growth goal, ladies, I want you to understand that this growth goal is something that inspires you, right? Maybe you always wanted to like collect something, or you've always wanted to, take your child somewhere, right? Or do something special with them. Maybe build something special, right? Maybe you wanted to like, I don't know, get like a better, a better, let's see, what are some of the things that I wanted for my three growth goals? Because in the beginning, I was petty. I was petty. Let me see. My third growth goal in the beginning was usually travel and stuff. And I didn't realize that travel didn't belong in growth goal number three. It was the wrong spot for it. Right? And you're like, well, I want to travel. So did I. And so do you. And that's okay. But that's where these next two growth goals come in. I told you there was 5. Right? So we've got financial, growth, growth, and now for our last two. These are the fun ones. These are the ones that are our favorite because we just enjoy them, right? So you could be as petty as you want to be. You could be as extraordinary as you want to be. Do you, sis, right? But you want to make sure that it's a 30-day thing, right? So you don't want to like buy a mansion, okay? But maybe it's like nails, or like, some new hair, or like, I want a kayak right now. We're going kayak shopping on Amazon. Oh, he went inside. I was going to say, right, babe? Um, so we're going kayak shopping. I really want a kayak. We just got trampoline, right? Things like that, right? Things like that. Things that you don't need to have, but like they do make life better. They make life more fun. We enjoy them. They make us feel good. They fuel our spirits, right? Like, do you know how important it is to just stop always striving for goals that are like focus, 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 and just reward yourself? Because you have to, in order to keep going, in order to keep like striving, in order to keep doing that thing that you're doing. Life, you have to actually reward yourself throughout the process. Yes, you should 10x your goals and your dreams, but please, 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 please do not forget to reward yourself. So it's okay for 4 and 5 to be, whatever you want. They're called whatever the you want goals. WTF. 2 of them. WTF. Okay? Maybe number 2 is you want to move, right? You want to get out of that apartment and you want to move into a house. You've wanted to do that for like 2 years, but you haven't really been in the position to do it. But now, since you're taking care of financial goal number 1 with growth goal number 2, and you're experiencing growth goal number 3, and you've got growth goal number 4, you know that is moving. You're reserving as you achieve financial goals. You're moving goals around as you accomplish. You're filling them back in with other things. Make sense? So that you can, after you hit growth goal number 1 and you achieve that financial goal, you better take some of those finances and go get yourself some new hair. What? You better put some money away for that house that you want and absolutely deserve and have worked really freaking hard for, right? It's important to 10x your goals. Cheers to 10xing your goals. However, if you don't reward yourself, you're going to feel like you're not seeing success. I've had so many students tell me like, well, I wanted to move and now I'm in a new state and I'm here and I got a new job and I upgraded my car and, I'm finally in a place where like I should be content and I'm just not content. I don't feel happy. And I'm like, wait, 2 things are happening here. One, you don't have a goal sheet that you're checking off and seeing your success. And two, you don't have anything to keep track of what you want. You're just going through the motions. So like your accomplishments that should be recognized, you're not recognizing them because you don't see them happening. You experience them, but it's like watching your kid grow up, you know? It's like you expect it. Like you're going to get bigger. It's not like one day you wake up and you're like, "Ah, you're big." Right? You don't just wake up and be like, "Ah, it's a big kid." Right? You watch them grow. So like as you're growing, you don't really watch yourself grow until you put it down on paper, until you put your goals in front of you and you can start checking them off. Make sense? Yes, yes. So number 5, ladies, let that be your travel, your 30th birthday party, right? Let that be like the yacht, the girls' trip. Let that be it. Okay? Let it go down there. Because it's not a need. You don't have to do that, but you want to do that and you should do that. As soon as you chip away at that first goal. Yes, yes? So it's so critically important, ladies. So critically important. Without goals, literally at 30 years old, I had zero money in my bank account, literally $0 in my bank account. Okay? Zero. Not only did I have $0 in my bank account, living that check to check thing, collecting unemployment, swearing I was like the baddest thing. Not only was I there, but I didn't have healthy relationships. I wasn't connecting with good people. I didn't have good people around me. My friends kind of weren't shit. I wasn't shit. My baby dads really weren't shit. Nobody around me was shit. I love my mom to death, but she wasn't really doing anything extravagant. Nobody was. And I expected to be great through that. I needed goals. I needed to change my environment. There was things I needed to focus on. But step 1 is setting these goals. You can literally change where you're going. You can change where you're at right now just with a quality set of goals. And if you use this outline, if you use these 5 and you really put some thought into them, don't just surface jot down a number, surface jot down Bora Bora, right? Let's really put some thought into these. And when you come in and you step into week 1, we're going to dive into your goals personally. We're going to dive a little bit deeper. We're going to peel the layers back on what your goals should actually be. And you're going to be surprised, even when you think you took the time to write down the most amazing goals. When we do them together, you're going to have an eye-opening experience because that surface goal roots much deeper than the surface of those 5. But that's another conversation and another live and another video and another recording. But I promise you that when I do see you, your goals will be so much so in alignment that you're going to start to manifest and see the world around you drastically change. Mine has in a year, in 1 year. If you ask the people that know me better than anybody, I was just as ain't shit as anybody else. I don't deserve any more than you do. I just worked harder. I worked smarter. I might have worked longer, right? But I'm no more deserving than you. All you have to do is start off with 5 goals. Okay? These 5 golden goals will get you there. This is your goal guide to get you started. Whether you step in with me for 6 minutes, our 6-week program, or our year program, no matter where you step in with me, even if you do it on your own, because you can. Takes a little longer, a lot more lessons to be learned, but you could do it on your own, but not without these goals. So my gift to you is your goal guide for 2020, since we're all erasing the beginning anyway and starting over, right? So I will see you soon in week 1, and make sure you come prepared with your goal guide notes. I want to see these 5 golden goals, ladies. I'll see you soon. Remember, ladies, this is not just a luxury, it's hard work, okay? It's a lifestyle. Ciao.